Hi, welcome to Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering. We've moved to our new location here at the beautiful Highlander Accelerator building located at 30th and Patrick. We are still open even during the pandemic. We've made some changes and we are here to serve you Omaha's best soul food. The best way to order Big Mama's delicious soul food is to go to our website, bigmamaskitchen.com, click on the Order Now button, place your order, pay for your order, and upon arrival, park at any one of our 4 convenient curbside pickup locations. Give us a call and we'll bring the order right out to you. You can also order carryout from Big Mama's. Park on the Patrick Street side of the building, walk down this long brown sidewalk, and come in through the west doors. Once inside, you come in through the door and enter in what we call the dining room, and you walk right up to our window and you can place your order or pick up your food. We're looking forward to preparing a fresh home-cooked meal for you, and we hope to see you soon.
Wow. So I've been doing this for a while. I should have known that. But I'm so happy today to have 2 phenomenal individuals and an organization that a lot of us tend not know too much about. I did some research and I was like blown away about all the different services that you guys actually provide. How long you've been in existence. And I'm just glad that I made the connection, if you will, and I want to be able to connect at many organizations, particularly in North and South Omaha, with your organization. So without further ado, I want to welcome Ms. Christine Allen, manager, the Court Referral Community Service Program, United Way, and Ms. Fratina McCraney. She is the 211 program manager for the United Way. And the 201 program is a phenomenal program, but I want to talk to the big cheese right now, Ms. Christine Allen. And could you give us like a 2 to 3 minute intro, if you don't mind?
Yes, the Court Referral Community System program is for those people in Douglas County who have an order to do community service through the courts. It could be that they're on probation, or they maybe want to do the offender work program in order to work off fines that they have. The program has been in existence about 20 years. We partner with Douglas County, and my position is actually grant funded, and we just renewed our grant for 2 years. So the program actually helps out the county saving money because they're vulnerable for going to jail because you're able to pay off their fines, and it saves about $450,000 a year here.
Okay. I think we had a couple of individuals that came down to our center.
Yes, sir.
As part of the work release, which is a great program, I think. Anytime you can keep an individual out of jail,
yes,
and make him work it off.
Absolutely.
I think it tends to make it more personable, if you will, and also holds the person accountable, right?
And I think it gives a little bit more positive outlook towards the court system and the judicial system, where a lot of times people have such a negative thought process of it.
Okay. We said I got some questions for you. I really want to talk about the work release program. Are there any other programs that you guys actually work with besides the work release program?
Well, ours is not actually work release. It's called the Offender Work Program.
Okay.
So what that is if somebody has, like, let's say traffic tickets, or they're on probation and they were ordered to pay fines,
okay,
they can work those off.
Okay.
It's $150 per 8 hours or as a service worker. So I actually have some people right now who had fines of over $600 on their probation orders, and they're doing community service to work that off so that they don't have to worry about it financially.
So how do individuals connect with that particular program?
If they want to call me at United Way, they can, and I can get them set up depending on their situation. Otherwise, they can go, if they're already on probation or they have upcoming court hearings, they can ask the judge to be on the offender work program, and the judge most of the time will say yes, that's fine. What happens though is it's kind of time constraint because they have to contact me within 24 hours of the court order.
Okay.
And then we meet and I assign them someplace to do their hours. They have so much time, depending on their fines, to get those hours done. And then I report back to the court that they're finished.
Okay.
However, if they don't contact me or they don't complete the hours, the court issues a warrant.
So why the short turnaround to contact you?
It's just the way they set up the program. I've only been with United Way about a year and a half, a little over, and the program was there when I started, and that's just the way they have it set up. I do know, too, that there is another offender work program through Douglas County Corrections, and they also have to contact them within the next business day.
And you did talk about how the program was actually funded, right? It's a
Yes,
grant.
it's through Douglas County.
So are probation officers involved in this program? I think you answered that already.
Absolutely. Any person who's put on probation and is ordered to do community service hours is referred to me by probation. And then I send the person a letter telling them that I'm aware that they've been ordered to do so many hours, whatever it is, and that they are to contact me for an intake appointment. The intakes take about 10 minutes, and then they have the information they need to get started doing their hours.
I guess it's kind of a crazy question. How do you measure success when we come to this particular program?
That they complete them, and when people are on probation, they usually just have to have them done before their probation term is up. But they can actually get off probation early if they get a bunch of stuff done depending on their situation. So the sooner they get them done, the better. And in terms of the offender work program, the success is for sure that they get those done in that timely fashion.
So if you had to calculate percentage-wise, where would you see your office at as far as getting these individuals through, complete the program, and move forward?
On the offender work program itself,
Yeah.
I actually have some numbers here so I can cheat.
You came prepared. You came prepared.
Yes, sir, I did.
You really did.
And because of COVID, our numbers dropped quite a little bit because a lot of people weren't taking people for community service. So we've been actually building the program back up to where it was before that. But I'd say we're about just under 50% success rate
That's good.
on the
That's good.
OWP.
That's good. That's good. What is the protocol for placement of men and women into agencies inside Douglas County?
They come to me, we do an intake appointment, they sign some paperwork for the guidelines, they give me an emergency contact person, then I will assign them to an agency that's as close to where they live as possible.
Yeah, transportation.
And then they walk out with a time card, a contact name, the place, the address, the phone number, and how to contact them and get the hours set up.
Okay.
Then if they do have problems with transportation, we have a Lyft program, and I can set up rides to get them to community service and back home at no charge to them.
Wow.
Yes. We've been very successful with that. It's just been over a year, and I looked today before I came, and we've provided 270 rides.
And that's good because, especially in this particular community
Yes.
and South, transportation is a huge barrier.
Huge. Yes.
Huge barrier. And to be able to provide that,
Yes.
that's a good thing.
Yes.
So who decides how many community service hours your client must complete?
If they're put on probation, the judge decides that when he places them on probation, and he will write in the number of hours that he wants. If it's the offender work program, it's based on the amount of money their fines are.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Besides misdemeanors, does your program accept felony convictions?
Yes, we do. Yes. Everybody that we assign, we do have guidelines that we work with, but we have quite a few. We're constantly building more of those up, and so we do have places to send people who have felony convictions.
With the pandemic seeming like it is taking an upward turn, are you seeing any issues with placing individuals with different organizations?
Not at this time, no, no.
So it's whether they're a nonprofit or for-profit?
They have to do their hours at a nonprofit.
It has to be a nonprofit.
Yes,
Okay.
and although we love people who mow the neighbor's yard, that does not count.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at you.
No, that's fine. We get those questions.
Do you believe your program helps reduce recidivism and probation violations?
Yes. If they are ordered to do community service and they don't, then there's going to be a violation that gets, filed. I'm a former probation officer, and I think that when they get out in the community, and number one, they're busy, especially if they're not working,
Right.
that gives them something to do and it keeps them out of trouble.
Absolutely. I don't mind. So I guess maybe might want to answer this. How is the 211 disseminated in the black and brown community? Because that's one of the biggest pet peeves of mine, is most people say, we got a website.
I would defer to Fratina on that.
Oh,
We
we'll
can
wait.
certainly switch places.
Yes. Could you come up for a minute?
Get rid of my stuff. There you go.
So, Miss Fratina McCraney?
Yes.
All right. Could you give us a little, say, 2 to 3 minute backdrop on history?
For 211.
Yes, ma'am.
So 211 is an information referral helpline. We serve the whole state of Nebraska, and then we serve western Iowa. So we provide referrals to nonprofit organizations in the community and health and human service agencies that provide services at a free or reduced cost to the community. So that could include, rent assistance, utility assistance, what community clinics you can go to, how to get a food pantry, clothing, so people can pretty much call us for anything. We like to be the one-stop shop. So when you call us, you're going to call us and we can get you the resources that you need, direct you to the right place. So you're not going to 10 different places asking questions. You call us and we'll say, this is where you need to go to get a food pantry. This is where you go to get clothing. We also have financial assistance programs that we do assist people in Nebraska only. Unfortunately, Iowa has their own program, so we can't assist in Iowa, but we assist financially through multiple funders in the community to assist with rent deposit, utility, and utility deposit assistance. And then we have other different programs. We have seasonal programs, so coming up pretty soon, we work with AARP and the VITA, the EITC Coalition, people can call us to schedule appointments to get their taxes done for free. So we provide, seasonal programs. In the wintertime, we provided holiday programs for people to call for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So pretty much, you just call 211, you can text 211, you can email me 211, you can go on our website, you can chat 211, and we'll be there. We're actually 24/7, so people can reach us, a live person at all times. So you're not reaching an automated message. You call us and somebody will answer.
You say one-stop shop. I mean, I think that's phenomenal, because most people don't know how to navigate the system.
Exactly, and that's one thing that we do when they call. We try to do a small assessment to try to get those needs out of them. A lot of people call and they're like, oh, I need food. But when you start breaking it down and you ask those assessment questions, the reason they needed food is because they couldn't pay their utility bill. So let me give you some agencies that can help you pay your utility bill, and then you can get some food. Or I couldn't buy my prescriptions because I had to pay for food. Well, let me get you some places that can help you get some free food, and then you can use the money you were going to pay for food for, you can use that to buy your prescription. So we do a little small assessment, try to help people figure out what their actual needs are.
What about mental health and resources? Do you guys assist with that, or refer out, if you will?
Yep, so we refer out to whether it's treatment, inpatient, outpatient, whatever resources we may have in our database. Currently, we're referring to a mental health first aid that United Way is help funding, and people can call in actually in the community and take this training for free. And then you can learn about mental health and the signs and, how to know if there's some issues or where to go. So, yeah.
That's crucial. You have a lot of black and brown individuals that are coming out of the criminal justice system. Right? Most of them is in 68104, 68111, 68110, and then of course over north. Is there any category that would disqualify individuals for some of the resources that you guys provide?
Not really. As far as financial assistance goes, no. So our financial assistance programs, they don't have any guidelines that restrict anybody from getting assistance. We try to help everybody. There's specifically like no income guidelines so that we can help as many people as we need. And then in our database, we actually do list a couple reentry programs. So if people are needing assistance with those types of programs, they can also call and get those as well.
That the reentry, a lot of those folks who are coming out of that system are functionally illiterate. Right? So how do you guys deal with that particular component, or do you refer them to someone else?
They're what?
Do you refer them to someone else?
If what was the issue?
If an individual is functionally illiterate.
So when they call us and they say they have a need, our main goal is to try to refer them to the resource. We don't want to try to be like the specialist when we're not the experts at something. So we're going to try to figure out what it is exactly they need so they can talk to somebody that specializes in what they're needing so they can get them the accurate help. We don't want to give them any wrong information. We want to go directly to the source. So.
And then you want to keep them in the community in which they live.
Exactly. Our all of our searches are zip code based. So if you don't want to give any information, we have to have your zip code because we don't want to give you a Kearney, since we serve the state, we'd rather give you right in your area that can help you.
Walk me through someone contacting 211 for whatever reason. Walk me through the process.
Okay, so they're going to call into 211. We're going to try to get some statistical information, some demographics, which helps us, get funders. And then we're going to ask a couple of assessment questions, try to figure out their need, and then we're either going to, based off the information they give us, if it's financial, see if we can put them into one of our programs to assist them or refer them to a program that may be able to help. So when I say assessment, we're asking, do you have children? Maybe they qualify for state assistance. Are you elderly? Are you a veteran? So we can look up those agencies specifically that help with those individuals and try to get them that assistance.
That's great. That's great. I want to make sure we give the audience an opportunity to be able to ask questions. So if you got any questions, please raise your hand. Yes, Beth?
I have 3 questions for you. What
Go
percent?
back! See, can we get 2 chairs up here? Or would that be an issue? Oh, she got one right next to her, don't you? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
What percentage of people who are referred then call you within 24 hours?
I would say 80%.
Oh. What percent finish the community service hours?
With the offender work program, within that timeline, you mean? That particular program?
In the timeline
Yeah.
they're given, yes.
Up to date, as of the end of November, we're about at 50%.
How much per hour is the person's work worth?
The minimum amount that they have to work is 8 hours.
No, how much money per hour is their work considered worth?
Well, we just base it on $150 for every 8 hours. So even if their fine is $100, they still have to work 8 hours to fulfill that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Okay. So what is Unite Nebraska?
Unite Nebraska is a program that specializes in trying to help individuals with that are struggling with the other social determinants of health. So basically, they're reoccurring. They're coming back to the doctor because they have some health issues. Mm-hmm. and we work with them to try to figure out what is it that you have, what needs do you have. And so again, they might not have had money for their medicine, and so that's why they keep going back to the doctor. So we would try to see if there's agencies out there that would help them get their medicine so that they don't have to keep going to the doctor. So we're just trying to help them, find the other issues that they're having, and yep.
So it's really finding the underlying cause of
Yes.
why they do what they do.
Yes.
And so that's good, because most people just give just to give, but you really don't find the core problem.
Exactly.
Right? And to do an assessment and finding that out, it really gives a lot of leverage in solving the issue itself. So, I'm sorry. Yes, Beth.
Yes, I was wondering, okay, you're taking care of all these different items. So with them having a home, not having a home, would you be able to really just put them in some place to live?
I guess it just depends on the need. So if they're homeless looking for a place to stay, is that what you're saying? We have resources that assist with first month's rent and deposit. So we could help them get into a place once they got approved. If they're homeless and they're looking for a shelter, we have shelters in our database. So it just kind of depends on the need of the person, and we go from there.
Yes, Beth.
What does the what does the research data show of the reasons why people don't continue with the community service work?
To be honest, we haven't really looked into that. In the past, some of it has been transportation, which is why we started the LIFT program. Sometimes it's just, unfortunately, they go to court, they say they're going to do this, they sign up for it, and then they have no intention of completing it at all. They go through the motions, and it buys them some time before a warrant would go out. But we don't actually, we do some statistics and, keep track of some things, but that's not one of them, unfortunately.
Hi. My question is there any type of emotional and social component to that, to the community service? One of the biggest things is you put them out there, they're in jail, and you put them out there for a job, and you have not prepared, I'm not saying, there has been no preparation for the emotional and social part that they're encountering. And if, with that turnaround so fast, that really is a deterrent. But you say it's 80%, but there are a lot of extenuating circumstances behind that, and if you could look into if there's a way that you can extend that for circumstances. Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
To answer the first part of the question, I've gone out and I have physically visited every agency that we work with. So I know the manager or the contact person who I'm going to refer somebody to. I usually try to pick a couple different options for the person, and then when they come into my office, I give them the choice. Do you need to work, off hours and you can go work at a Goodwill because they're open 7 days a week? Or, do you have physical limitations and we have to put you at, like, say, the cross training center where it's sit down work, things like that. And then the last part of your question, if something comes up and, like, in the last couple months because of COVID coming back and influenza A and stuff like that, people have maybe started their community service and then they've gotten sick. So what the court allows me to do is I email the court back and say, okay, I just heard from Jenny and she has influenza A, or she just got out of the hospital, and so I'm going to extend her time to get her work done because that's not something that she can control. So we do that, yes. But if it's just that you've never contacted the agency after you've been assigned, that's a choice. And lining something up and saying, I'm going to be here on this day, and then you don't show and you don't call, unfortunately, those are choices. And so there's got to be some accountability in there.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is there a language barrier for some in trying to use the 211 system? Why or why not?
I would say no. We have bilingual staff that work, so that's always available. And then we also use Language Line, which has over 200 languages. So when people call us, if they speak Swahili or whatever language it is, we can call our Language Line and utilize that service to get them the assistance that they still need.
You guys are proactive. That's a good thing because communication is a big issue, especially when you're talking about black and brown communities. My good friend Abon Law with the New Life Family Alliance, I know that's one of the things that he's dealing with. Also, we serve a lot of that Myanmar communities. Janice, is that the Myanmar? Where did Janice go? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's the Myanmar community up at Tom and Rose. We have a lot of those folks coming down. How do you access those individuals? And do they know about the different services that you guys provide?
That I'm not sure because all the people that I have contact with are from the courts.
Of course.
But we do have Spanish-speaking people, and we're able to use our bilingual staff. I do have forms that are in Spanish so that they're able to read and sign and know what they're reading. I haven't had anybody else to date that has been any other language, but I do also have access to the Language Line.
So what is you guys' contact information, website? Could you give that?
You want to give your little blurb?
So for 211, you can dial 211, just a 3-digit number, easy to remember. Our local number is 402-444-6666. Our website is ne211.org. To reach us by text message, you can text your zip code to 898-211, and that routes you directly to our texting platform so we can respond that way. And then on our website, NE211, that's how you can reach us by chat or email.
You guys are really ahead of the game. I do a lot of texting. I don't do the email per se because a lot of people are bombarded with the emails. And then, of course, the social media. Text is the best way that I find to be able to reach people and to get information out. So you guys are really proactive in how you disseminate information out and how people access it. And that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think a lot of other agencies could take the book from you guys.
We knew that millennials nowadays, they rather text. They don't want to call. Our older population, when they're calling in, they want to call, they want to write it down. But this new generation, they're like, text the information to me. Which also, sometimes people they don't have time to call. Everybody has busy lives and they may ask for a food pantry and we can text it to them. So if they need it in a month, they can go on their phone and they have that information. So
if I had a homeless individual that needed assistance with utilities, we just had them call 211, and then you would do an assessment, make the appointment, and the individual would come down.
So all of our assistance is over the phone. We don't see people in person at 211. So that's why we have all those multiple channels
That's
that you can
great.
reach us at.
That's great.
That's kind of what makes us unique because of the transportation barrier people have. Lots of times when they set up appointments for utility assistance or rent, they're not able to get to those appointments. So you can call us 24/7, text us, email, chat us, and we're able to go ahead and try to assist you over the phone.
So how long this process been in place where you don't have to come down, you just call?
We've never seen people in person at 211.
And how long 211 been in existence?
Over 20 years. It's been a long time.
I don't think there's other agencies that do that, do it? That I know of?
I mean, we collaborate with a lot of other agencies in the community, but the majority of them see people in person. So they don't have the over the phone, call center like we do. So.
I think you already answered this. Has COVID impacted families' physical, mental, or financial well-being? And if so, are you seeing an influx of more families calling for assistance, or?
On our end, for sure. Our percentage of housing and utility needs is over 60%. That's the majority of our calls. People needed financial assistance. Lots more food calls, lots more mental health calls. So COVID did, take a toll on the community, and we feel it at 211. We're spending more money. We're spending money fastly. People's balances are higher, so we definitely can see the trends because of COVID. And now that lots of the federally funded programs are ending or dwindling down, they're starting to call 211 again for those resources.
Now, I know you guys had ERA funding, correct? ERA funding, American Recovery? Yeah. No. And so, can people still access that, or is it gone?
At this point, I think the process has been taken care of for this time. People were able to submit, requests for money, and that was done fallish, early fall.
Right.
And that goes through a process and where we have several volunteers who look at the grant requests. They look at the information that's been submitted along with the request. What are they going to do with the money? What is their plan long-term? What do their spreadsheets kind of look like? How have they been doing financially up to this point? And then those different volunteer groups go through all of that and help determine who gets funding and who does not, unfortunately. And then those are then presented to the United Way board, and they make the final decision.
So there is some funding, but there's a process that you have to
Yes,
actually go
sir.
through. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I think you answered this. If a person is in need of health care, housing assistance, food, employment, due to COVID, there's a process that you have to go through.
That would be.
They would just call 211 and let us know their needs, and we can get them to the resources.
Okay. You say just call 211, and then they would basically direct them to the resources. So basically, all people need is 211. 211 to get you to any door that you want to get to, and you don't have to search through it. They've been talking about a one-stop shop probably the last 10 years. Now you guys actually have basically a one-stop shop.
We have over 4,000 programs in our database. Again, we serve the whole state. We serve Western Iowa. So we have a lot of resources for individuals, and that's why we're trying to do as much as we can, in our marketing department with outreach to try to get outstate, billboards and out in our local communities and everywhere so that more people know that there's this resource out there.
And I'm glad you touched on the rural community. I hate it when they talk about the urban community and leave out the rural community, because the same thing that we're experiencing in the urban community is the same thing they're experiencing out in the rural community. So to be able to get access to those individuals is huge. Right? So the whole state. So how many individuals do you have actually employed at the organization?
211 has about 20 staff. We're 24/7, so the staff are staggered throughout the day, just to make sure we have coverage all day and all night.
So on a daily basis, how many individuals call and contact 211? Would you know?
No, it depends. Like Mondays, we're going to be crazy busy. Friday is going to be slower. During tax season, we're going to get real busy. During summer, we slow down. So it just kind of varies. But we've had over 300,000 contacts in the last year, and that's all of our different channels, though. But
That's some
yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
That's some huge numbers. I can see why the need is so great, because you guys provide just about everything that the folks need in order to get help: housing, utilities, mental health. What about I think you may touch on that financial literacy. That's another big component, particularly for the Black and Brown community. So, do y'all deal with it in a way in the financial literacy piece?
We don't. We have resources that do, so we refer to them. We don't really do case management, unfortunately. However, we do follow-up on our callers. So we'll follow up in a couple of days and say, hey, we gave you a resource. Were they able to assist you? But as far as that case management part where the financial literacy comes in, we leave that to the experts at the other agencies that actually specialize in that.
What do you see as being you guys' biggest barrier in what you guys do? What's the biggest barrier?
For me, since when I first started, before we started the LIFT program, it was definitely transportation. Yeah. You have people who, and actually probation, I had somebody contact me and wanted to know like where I got my grant to be able to do my LIFT, which I got through United Way Worldwide. Because they also have a problem getting their probationers in for their checkups, their drug testing, their classes, things like that. And so for me, it was definitely transportation.
I think you mentioned in 2019, the Nebraska legislature passed LB 641. LB 641.
Remind me, sorry.
Has the bill helped 211
Mm-hmm.
receiving grants to increase the outreach? I think that was the bill, LB 641.
Yep. So we were 24/7 at one point, and then we reduced our hours due to funding, and so we went after state money, and then we got that. So now we're almost fully funded by the state, not quite, but hopefully this next year we're trying to get into one of the bills so that every year 211 is funded by the state. So that's what our goal is to be fully funded by the state.
So you guys are not fully funded by the state?
No, United Way funds 211 and then the state.
Picks up the rest. Why wouldn't the state just pick it up, especially with all the different services that you guys provide and the cost savings that you're saving not only the city but the state as a whole?
I think they're starting to see that through our outreach that they did fund us outreach money with this last round of funding. So with the outreach, they're starting to see that in the rural communities, we're there. We have a voice now. We're attending meetings. We're going out. We bought a van so we can travel out into rural Nebraska and attend meetings and trainings. So I think that now that the word is out there about 211, we have a better chance at eventually being fully funded by the state.
I think it'd be a good idea to maybe reach out to Senator Terrell McKinney, who's actually a member of our board. I think some of the things that you guys are doing are very innovative, and I think he'll probably be open to listening to some of the things you guys are actually doing. I know Senator Terrell McKinney, not Terrell, but Justin Wayne. He's actually termed them out. But we got some really good senators. Megan Hunt, I think she's a good one, very open-minded. So do you feel that y'all have a good chance at getting more funding, if you will, to do more outreach?
I think we do. Like I said, now that we've got more known in the community and out in rural communities, and senators are seeing the help that we're providing. We also have, what is it called? 211 counts, where a senator can select their district and it can show like how many calls that they've had in the area, what the calls were about. And so that's helped a lot of them also see the assistance that we provided in their communities. So we've been trying to do more things to just let the different senators know that we're just not local. We're not just Omaha, Lincoln. We're everywhere in Nebraska, and that's where we want to be, but we need their help to be in those communities. So.
Well, like I said, I was blown away about all this stuff that you guys was involved in. I mean, I just thought maybe, rent, maybe utilities, maybe a little mental health, that was it. But you guys are really doing some very important things. The Earned Income Tax Credit, all right? You guys actually do the taxes?
No. So we schedule the tax appointments. So individuals can call us,
No.
call us in a couple weeks, and we can go ahead and set that appointment up for them. You know, people have barriers, so they're not technology savvy. They don't know how to work a computer, so they can call us. We can schedule it for them. If they need to cancel it, reschedule it, they can call us, and we can do that for them, so they don't have to worry about the hassle of that. And then when they call back, we keep a record of their calls, so they can call back and say, hey, I called, I can't remember my appointment. Boom, this is when you schedule it, this is where you go, this is the time. So, like I said, we like to always be there, so that's just another thing that we do.
So you actually do the taxes over the phone?
We schedule the appointments
Appointment.
with the free tax sites. And then the tax experts at the free tax sites actually do the taxes.
She's good. No, we don't do that. We schedule an appointment, but we don't do the rest.
Yeah.
So, a lot of our senior citizens should be taking advantage of the different services.
Yes, yes. And we also, I know she's mentioned her transportation barriers. We have a grant that we received through Lyft, through United Way Worldwide, and we provide free rides to individuals. There's a limited amount. It's not unlimited, let me say that. But individuals needing rides to medical, health, or food-related services. So if they needed a ride to a food pantry, to the grocery store, if they needed a ride to work or to a job interview, to a medical appointment, we have financial assistance available that will provide a Lyft ride for free for those specific services.
Interesting. We deliver to about 150 people. That's too many for us. And we were trying to find a way to be able to partner with some folks to make that delivery, because most of the people we deliver to try to keep them over 65 or 70. So would that be something that you guys could help facilitate or get involved in, or what?
Just reach out to me individually, we could talk.
That's all I need to do. That's all I need to know. Yeah, because Eunice, he said no. No, we don't get involved with that. So, yes, Beth. That's Creighton. So,
You said that you call the clients back and ask if their needs were met. What does the research data show about agencies meeting the client's needs?
We have a pretty high rate of our of the agencies providing the services. The main reason we're doing that is because we want to know, is our information we're giving out accurate? So if we give you a food pantry, we said it was open Wednesday, and you went and they said they were closed, we need to update our database. So we like to, be as accurate as possible. So also those calls, we're also doing a follow-up on our specialists. So we want to know, are they providing quality service? Were they knowledgeable? So we do have two different types of follow-ups. And the main thing for both of them is just making sure that, the accuracy of our database and the quality of our specialists answering the phones.
that's a very good point, because a lot of times they'll give you a pamphlet, and probably half the numbers are disconnected, or no longer doing it.
Right.
So to be able to keep that up and give people accurate information is huge. And people are a little funny if you give them some information and they go make the call and they don't get the connection. It really leaves a negative impact with that individual, and then that individual spread negative stuff to the next person. So to be able to catch that and to be able to have like a survey or something like that where you can follow up is huge. This really is.
And our text messages, after 3 days, if you text into 211, it sends you an automated survey asking the same thing. How was the service? Did you get the information that you need? Because all across all of our channels, we want to make sure that we're accurate. Not just when you call, when you text us, when you chat, when you email us. Did you get the service that you needed?
That's good. Any more questions? So, is there any more things in your folder that you would like to that you would like to talk about that we may have missed or not touched on?
I think we covered just about everything. The only thing is I've actually started in October and November, I attend the problem-solving courts. And then that helps with removing barriers for those people as well. If the judge orders community service hours during court, I'm able to sign them up before they leave the courthouse. And then that way, they don't have to make a separate appointment, they don't have to get daycare, they don't have to miss another day of work. You know, we're able to just do it right there, and then they're ready to go. So I sit in on young adult court every other week, and I sit in on veterans court every other week, and we're currently looking to expand into the drug courts, which are weekly.
Now, we're seeing a lot of veterans.
Yes.
I'm glad you touched on that. Not only suffering from mental illness, but are going into the prison system itself. So how can you guys help with that particular piece? I know she's going to say we don't.
I have specific contacts that I'm getting because the Veterans Court people have mentors. And so I'm constantly getting information from them. I have some places that I can send people that are totally veteran focused for community service. And then, of course, transportation, you know, for me too.
We work with HUD VASH a lot to provide.
Say it again?
HUD VASH.
HUD
VASH, VASH. So it's like basically general assistance for veterans.
Okay.
So we work really closely with them to provide rental deposits. That's about the most we do, like as far as it goes with veterans, like direct service. But other than that, like you said, we just refer. But we do pay a lot of deposits for veterans that are going into getting their own housing.
Well, you guys do a lot. And especially for veterans, 'cause I'm a veteran myself. And I bet you a lot of people don't know about any of the stuff that you're talking about. And that's a shame. So what can the community do? Because I'm going to put it on us. What can we do to help support you guys and what you guys are doing? Because it's all about the work.
I think for me, it's just, you know, getting the word out with the people that you work with. I just would like to be able to let people know that there are other ways to complete what they need to for the criminal justice system. Again, as I said, it's kind of got a negative connotation with a lot of people, but I think being able to work off their fines, then it's not a financial barrier for them. If they're not working, they can get the hours done a lot faster. I provide transportation for them, so that's a non-issue as well. So it's kind of a two birds with one stone thing. I actually have, I believe I send them to you. I had a person who was on the offender work program and he wasn't working at the time, and I think you guys sent him over to Spartan Nash.
Spartan Nash.
Yeah, and so now he's got a job.
Making
So-
good money too. So that's one of our partners. And then we try to push a lot of our folks into the CDL program.
Yes.
Because 4 weeks, 5 weeks tops, and you're gonna make anywhere between $65,000 and $75,000 a year.
Yeah.
And most people have never made that kind of money.
Right.
Right? So it's a huge opportunity for them. But first of all, you need to be able to get the foundation of the rest of the stuff. You need to be able to get housing. You need to be able to get food. You need to be able to get clothing, and all those type of things in place. So again, I'm still shaking my head that more people are not taking advantages of the different services that you guys provide. So do you guys work with Charles Drew or One World?
No, we list them in our database as a referral for people needing like services, but we don't have a direct partnership.
That may be somebody you want to maybe reach out to, Kenny McMorris. I think he's very open. And then also, I would suggest 95.7, The Boss, William King. I think both of you ladies should be on the show because he has a huge audience. And then we have Open Sky with what is his name? Paul Allen, which particularly is our community. So if you're trying to reach people who look like me, those would be some of the individuals that I would point you to. And then of course we have New Life. That's one of the main reasons I wanted him here, because he didn't know about a lot of this stuff. I said, hey, look, you need to be here. Right? You need to make the direct contact with these individuals, and so you'll be able to direct a lot of your participants to them. So
You know, I just wanted to ask you all, is there a lot of pleasure in putting smiles on people's faces? Do you ever get to see a lot of that?
I get to because I see people face to face. They come in and see me face to face. It's fun to joke around with people. It's kind of fun to talk with them about my background. I've had some people ask me questions that I was able to answer for them, so they're not able to have to go back and find an answer, from somebody else. And I enjoy being able to place them in a place that can possibly turn into employment or something that they can do on a regular basis to keep them busy. I enjoy what I do, I really do.
And for me, it's personal, and I always tell everybody that. I've been at 211 for 13 and a half years, and I started on the phones, and I just worked my way up. So when I'm talking to somebody, it's kind of like I'm talking to myself. I was working 2 jobs at United Way, taking those phone calls, and in the same situation as somebody on the other line. And here I am, I just worked my way up, and so when I'm talking to those people, it's personal. It's like, girl, I've been through the same thing, or I've been there. So being able to relate to those people, and not thinking I'm better than them, or I've been in the same situations. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I've been there so long. And even though I don't see them like her, I hear it in their voices. They're crying. We crying together because I didn't stop them from getting evicted or got their lights back on. So that is why I do what I do, and it keeps me going every day. And I'm gonna get emotional if I keep talking about it because, like I said, it's personal. But that's why I do what I do.
All right.
Yeah, oh wow, that was powerful because I thought you was on the verge of shedding a tear or two, but that's what's one of the missing components of a lot of these organizations. They don't have that personal touch. All right, they can't relate. I ain't never had my lights cut off. All right, I didn't have enough food. We got a lot of people are experiencing that. And to be able to relate to that is build trust. And I think a lot of people trust you because they know you got their best interest at heart. So I'm glad you mentioned that because the next question was 13 years. Most people don't stay on the job 13 years. So why is this job so important to you? And could you see yourself doing something else?
I probably would be at United Way as long as they keep me. As long as I can do what I'm doing now, helping people every day. That's my passion, to just be able to help people. And every day, even if it's one person, as long as I can help one person, it makes me feel good inside. And to be able to be a role model for my daughter and her to say, my mom helped people, that's why I do it. So it's not, for me, again, it's personal. And so 13 years later, here I am, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I started down. They helped me, work my way up, and I've gained a lot of knowledge. I like to consider myself an expert because I've been there so long. But yeah, I just love what I do. Helping people is my passion. So
that's your poster child. That's your poster child because we need to see examples like that. We need to see examples from people who came from the bottom and have worked themselves up and be successful. Right? So, and your daughter to see you as a hero, that's huge. That's huge. Mm-hmm. So, what time is it? Oh, that was that fast? 7:53. Wow. Wow. I thought we had about 20 minutes. But again, I've learned so much about the organization, and particularly about you two ladies. So, and that's the whole point of bringing you here, for folks to learn about the organization and why you guys do what you do. Right? More importantly is to get the necessary resources and help. Because right now, people are struggling. They're no middle class. Right? And so if you got the tools and the resources to help people, does your heart good. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let you ladies close us out. So go right ahead.
I just want to say, if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, tell them to call 211 if they need help. I always say it starts with you. So if you know somebody that's in need of assistance tell them to dial 211. We'll be there 24/7.
Oh, good team.
I just want to thank you for having us here and being able to get our word out. And I'm very grateful for the relationship that we have, the relationships I have with our other agencies. And we're constantly looking for other agencies to work with so that we can expand in the areas that we have empty pockets. And I just would encourage anybody who has any high fines or anything like that to look at going into open court and seeing if they can do the offender work program, and we can work together and get those taken off.
I'm definitely going to be looking at some people that I know and see what we can do. I think anytime you can keep an individual out of jail, it's a good thing.
Absolutely.
It's a good thing.
And it costs less money for the county.
Yes, absolutely. So, again, I want to thank everyone for coming out and asking the right questions. But more importantly, building a relationship with these individuals. That's what it's all about, is building a relationship and see what you can do to help support what they're doing and vice versa. So thank you so much for coming to Big Mama's. And, of course, Best Burger and Miss Ashley Vaughn. Big man. They got the best burgers in town. They got the best foods in town. So I always try to spend my money in the hood where it do the most good. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm out.
Hi, welcome to Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering. We've moved to our new location here at the beautiful Highlander Accelerator Building located at 30th and Patrick. We are still open even during the pandemic. We've made some changes and we are here to serve you Omaha's best soul food. The best way to order Big Mama's delicious soul food is to go to our website, bigmamaskitchen.com, click on the Order Now button, place your order, pay for your order, and upon arrival, park at any one of our 4 convenient curbside pickup locations. Give us a call and we'll bring the order right out to you. You can also order carryout from Big Mama's. Park on the Patchett Street side of the building, walk down this long brown sidewalk, and come in through the west doors. Once inside, you come in through the door and enter in what we call the dining room, and you walk right up to our window and you can place your order or pick up your food. We're looking forward to preparing a fresh home-cooked meal for you, and we hope to see you soon.